It's your boy Kelly Flicks, man.
What's going on, y'all? It's Juice. We back.
We back. Another episode of Bet on Black is here.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you went for the Super Size Me parlay with Juice last week, you might have hit on the round robin. But the parlay was close, very close. Missed out on 2 games. Super close. Break it down to us, Juice. How did last week's Super Size Me parlay go for NCAA March Madness?
So, it was a risk, and we paid the price for it being a risk. But definitely something, maybe not every week, but I might do something like that again, man. You never know. Something like that may come back if I'm feeling good. Really, out of the 5, I really hit on 4 out of 5, but I gotta call it what it is. By half a point, I didn't hit on one of them, so 3 out of 5. That Vanderbilt game hurt me. It was the first one, so that hurt my heart. I had them winning by 1.5, which is the line. They won by 1, so they didn't cover. Should have just took the money line. I think the money line was like minus 125, 130. Took the money line, but you live and you learn, and I learned that college basketball, I'm taking the fucking money line. If it's a spread like 1 through 4, for sure, I'm probably taking the money line. Unless I just know that they're going to blow them out. So, learn my lesson from that shit. What was the other ones? The other ones hit. Eastern Washington was a backdoor cover. If
backdoor was a thing, yeah.
Like any backdoor cover. Like, that's the most backdoor of a cover you can ever get. Like, literally the last shot with no time on the clock. They was down 14, and he hit a 3 to make it 11. So, I covered the 11.5. Arkansas won outright, like I told y'all niggas.
Yeah, let's do it. So, here we go. So, speaking of Arkansas won outright. You picked them to win the money line. They won their game against Kansas 72-71. Barn burner. Another team that was green, like you spoke about, was Eastern Washington, covering the 11.5-point spread against Oklahoma State in the NIT tournament. Mm-hmm. The game ended up being 60-71.
Backdoor cover, baby. Hey, if it's green, it's green, baby. We take the green beans.
Covered by half a point. And then we got Princeton beating Missouri outright. Big game, money line game that Juice picked out to win. Princeton won 78-63.
Whoop them niggas.
A big win against Missouri. But a couple games that ended up biting them in the butt was hey, look, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Facts.
We also lost by half a point in the Vanderbilt game versus Michigan, 66-65. Juwan Howard, that boy, that's a bad boy right there. I know he be reading them lines. I know he do. I know he do. He like, yeah, I know what we gonna do right here. Foul him again?
Coach, we winning.
Facts. Like, nah, give it away. But speaking of another game that really felt like they could have had it was Marquette, man. Talking about Shaka Smart losing to a Tom Izzo team in Michigan State. Losing the game 69-60. This is the last game that spurred the parlay. Losing 69-60 where Marquette was favored to win the game by 3 points.
Mm-hmm. Disappointed, but like I said, I learned, betting-wise, I learned from all my losses. So, this Marquette team was good enough. They high scoring, high pace. But, I didn't take into account, and sometimes you just lose bets, but I didn't take into account the youth, right? So all they good players are first, second year guys. They were consistent. I mean, the same starting 5 for the whole season, which I think only 3 teams in NCAA Division I basketball did.
That's a testament.
So very consistent. Usually score around in the 80s. But they faced a team, Michigan State team, that they playing good basketball at the right time. During the regular season, if you see them in the Big Ten, you'd be like, I'm not really impressed with this team, and they'll probably be out of here in the first round. But they've been playing their best basketball since they got to the tournament. Been locking up on D. Like they got by versus SC, but they were better than SC in my opinion. And then versus Marquette, they just locked up on defense. AJ Hogarth, the point guard, was playing fantastic. I mean, crossing dudes over, distributing the ball like Maestro we know he could be. So I think we saw peak Michigan State, and I wasn't expecting that. So shout out to them though. But yeah, that was a tough one.
Came out strong. So that wrapped up our parlay for last week. Let's talk about the super size because honestly, that was the most polarizing. You know, we took our time with that, and Juice carefully picked out some of his crazier bets, and really, in actuality, crazy is a good thing. When it comes to March Madness, crazy and thinking out of the box is what you want to do in a tournament with a lot of upsets.
Gotta be different.
So going into the next round of things with the Sweet 16. The women's basketball is also moving ahead. We missed out on some of their bets earlier this week on the Monday podcast, but now here we are on Wednesday. Notre Dame and Coach Ivy face off against a Maryland team where Notre Dame's actually favored by 4.5 points. We got a call in from Simone, good homie from Up on Game. Got some nice information. Found out that a starting guard for Notre Dame is going to be out for this one. And that we should definitely take Maryland on the 4.5 points. So, will you oblige, Juice?
Oh yeah. I'm taking Simone's word for this. She know what she's doing. She know what she's talking about, and she's putting more hours watching that than I have. So, I'm rolling.
Let's do it. So we'll take Notre Dame for the points. Not Notre Dame, Maryland for the points in this situation, and really to cover that spread. It's going to be nice. I mean, even a situation where we think Maryland's going to win this game, just covering the 4-point spread is pretty cool. I'll take it. So, moving on next, we got the infamous South Carolina Gamecocks, who are favored yet again, surprisingly, right, by 17.5 points against a UCLA team. So, be transparent here. Simone also gave us a call, and Simone told us to double down on that 17.5. And absolutely take it, without a doubt.
She said, goddamn right they're going to win by 17.
She said, indubitably, take the 17.5. So, I will take the 17.5, Juice, formally.
Hey, look, you think I'm going against Zaya Cook and Aaliyah Boston? You think I'm really going against them?
Hey, as long as I don't have a good reason.
Think I'm fading Aaliyah Boston? No. I'm not taking that fade. So, I'm taking the 17 with South Carolina.
All right.
Easy money.
So, we're betting black on the women's basketball front of this parlay, taking Coach to Ivy to actually lose to Maryland, but we're taking Coach Don Staley to win against Notre Dame and cover the 17.5 points. So moving on to the men's side, we're back into NCAA March Madness, the big tournament. The NIT will be out until next week. The CBI also is out until next week.
Well,
so the rest
ended tonight, actually.
It did end tonight. Eastern
Charlotte.
Kentucky and
East Kentucky and Charlotte.
And Charlotte just faced off. Yeah. So CBI is done. NIT will be next week. We got NCAA March Madness to cover now. So Xavier and Texas is our next matchup. Your boy Sean Miller for Xavier has made a push. Arizona lost early. But Xavier, led by Sean Miller, is still pushing forward. They're going to face off against a Texas team. A Texas team that's pretty good, but they lost their coach mid-season, Chris Beard. Enter new coach, Ronnie Perry, if I'm not mistaken.
Terry.
Ronnie Terry, sorry about that, who comes in for Texas and leads them to a Sweet 16 berth. These are two teams to me that weren't expected to be here right now. So what you think about them, Juice?
Texas, as a 2 seed, I think people expecting them to be here. Me, I feel like this team have flaws, but I will say there is a kid on their team. I forgot his first name, but I think it's his last name is Rice, Sir something Rice, Sir Darius Rice, or something like that. I don't want to. My bad, dog, if I'm botching your name, but Rice, last name Rice, number 10, shooting the hell out of the ball right now, like crazy, shooting the hell out the ball right now. Really
Serjabari Rice.
There you go. Serjabari Rice. Thank you. Balling. Shooting the crap out the ball. They big man, Dessou, number 4, I believe, playing well. Little like stretch forward, kind of a big man. He can play outside, play inside. He's playing well right now. I think he got like 28 in one of the games.
Yeah, nice rocking the Uno.
Yeah.
He's a senior, upperclassman. That helps in this type of situation.
So he was going crazy. Obviously, y'all know about Timmy Allen. Y'all know about Marcus Carr. And honestly, this team was good. They beat Kansas by, I think, like a dub during the regular season. But something to me always seemed like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could trust it. But, respect to this point, man. They lost their coach. They came back. Roddy Terry's led this team, to a 2 seed, I believe, in the tournament. And now they're in the Sweet 16.
Yep.
And back to this game, I see -4.5.
Yeah.
I would, honestly, I'm comfortable laying it, but for the sake of the parlay and for keeping things safe, I'm gonna take the money line. I believe it's minus 190 right now, so not too bad. But I'm gonna take Texas on that money line. I think they gonna get it done versus Xavier. Get them up out of here.
Like it, man. Ronnie Terry's got those boys and really has put them in position to make a nice run in the NCAA tournament. Right now, you look at this field of round of 16. It's very winnable for anybody. Mm-hmm. This is anybody's game. You know, each of these teams are one win away to really making a push for that national championship. Ronnie Terry and what he's doing is very cool. I think Texas wins this one, man. I think Xavier's luck runs out. This has been a magical run for Xavier, by the way. Very magical run, especially with a new coach and under all that scrutiny. This is a great run. Shout out to those kids and those players, but I think it ends here. I think Ronnie Terry and Texas really has it together, and they're ready to take it. So I'm with you on that. Let's take the money line for Texas. Going through our picks, we're taking Maryland to cover 4.5 points. We're taking South Carolina to win by 17.5 against UCLA. And we're taking Texas to win their game straight up. Money line. Juice spoke about not taking the spread and talking money lines in college basketball. So, hey, look, now he's showing it now. He's, came to the men's side. We're not talking points. We're talking money line. So next up, we got Michigan State and Kansas State. Big matchup. Our boy Jerome Tang from Kansas State came off a big win versus Kentucky. He went crazy on John Calipari in the press conference and the rest of the Kentucky faithful. Now he goes on to Michigan State, another blue blood. Back-to-back blue bloods for Kansas State. Who you got in this matchup, Juice?
Man, I'm betting on black. I got Kansas State outright to win.
Shout out Jerome Tang, man.
I think they plus 105 right now. You can probably get that. I don't understand why Michigan State is a favorite. They are playing their best basketball. This is probably peak Michigan State right now, but they're not better than Kansas State. And I'm gonna be real with you. And fun fact, Mr. Marquise Noel, the little giant, you know what I'm saying? The giant killer, 5'7", point guard going crazy.
Like an assassin.
Hey, all I'm going to say is the game's at Madison Square Garden, and that's Mr. New York. The boy named Mr. New York. I'm just saying.
That means something.
I'm just saying. He's playing in front of friends and family now at the Garden.
That means something.
I'm just saying. So, look, if y'all want to look prayer props, I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what his numbers look like. I don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow. You might want to look at the over on any of that. So, me, Kansas State all the way. I think they should be favored in this game. But that's fine. I'm not going to fight it. I'll take the plus money. I'll take them on the money line to win straight up.
Yeah, right now they're plus 1.5. Kansas State, I'm rolling with them. I like them. I think what Coach Calipari said, he even apologized after. I think that lit another fire under this team in the middle of the tournament. I think nobody was talking about Kansas State until now. Yeah. And I think of all the teams, they may be the most motivated team to make a real push now in this tournament and really show everybody that they have skills and they can hoop down there in Kansas State. They're in the Big 12 with everybody else, and they really in there with Texas and Kansas. Easy to be overshadowed. Very easy, and I think this is a nice point for Kansas State to really make a stand. He beat another blue blood back-to-back. This will be nice on the resume of Jerome Tang, and I'm sure he'll call a great game. So, yep, taking plus money with Kansas State. We agree on that. Next up, we got Miami at Houston. Yeah. The battle of the destination cities. The battle of the spring break cities on spring break. This is magical right now.
Power of the South.
So, this is going to be a crazy game. Wherever they play at, I'm sure the food's going to be great. Miami at Houston. Houston team that's battle-tested and really wounded. There's a wounded team. It's a very veteran team, but they're wounded. So who you got in this with Miami at Houston in the NCAA tournament?
So this is an interesting one for me. I think Houston wins the game, but I don't want to take them on the money line. I think Miami keeps it close. It being at 7.5, I kind of like that number for Miami. So betting wise, I'll probably take plus 7.5 Miami. I do think Houston will pull this off. Miami's a really good team. They're really talented. They can score the hell out of the ball. So this should be fun. But Houston locks up. So it's gonna be interesting to see the game in transition. Miami wants to get out and run, throw lobs, get out on a break, play fast. Houston is a slower pace, defensive oriented, lock up, half court basketball. They'll get out, they'll get steals and blocks and get out on a break like that, but mostly they're half court. They're keeping the score down and they're guarding. This is going to be interesting. Houston, they're trying to get to Houston for the Final Four at home, so they I know they really want this. They, like you said, got some injuries, kind of wounded right now. Marcus Sasser with the groin, Jamal Shea with the knee, and they kind of limping their way through this thing. I think they grit, their offensive rebounding, their grit, their toughness, I think gets them by Miami, but I don't think this is a blowout. This game might be one possession. So I got Miami plus 7.5. That's my pick.
I like it. I mean, I don't think we're losing that situation. Such a close game, man. Really a team that's kind of looking to get knocked off. You spoke last week about how Houston really should have lost last week. There was a lot of thoughts and really a lot of reflection on what Houston is without their two guys. And they got out there, hobbled or not. They still got out there. They did their thing, and they proved their worth to their team on the game. I think this is a nice spot for upset for Miami. But I'd be inclined to pick Houston winning this game. Give me Houston for the money line. Straight up win. Kind of stay away from them spread numbers and the crazy wackiness of March Madness. Right. And maybe come on, Houston, just make a layup to win the game. Make it to the next round, and I'll be good. Yeah. So let's go through our picks for this week, talking college basketball on the women's basketball side. And if you're betting on this parlay, if you want to put this parlay strictly together, all 5 of these teams, I'd incline for you to go with Bovada. Bovada has it all. They've got all the women's bets we're looking for. So here we go. We got Notre Dame at Maryland. We're taking Maryland to cover this 4.5 points that they have favored for Notre Dame. We'll take Maryland. Now next we got South Carolina and UCLA. We're taking Coach Dawn Staley to win this game by at least 17.5 points. Please take this game tonight while you can. The number for South Carolina seems to grow every time it comes out. We've noticed that every round. Yeah, so this is a good number to take. If you didn't watch our other previous episodes, there was a previous episode where we voted, and we voted pretty unanimously on the Bet on Black to go for the over in South Carolina against Norfolk State. And the line, notoriously, point total went down to, it moved up.
15.
It went to 15, and also at the end of the game, the point total was like 111 points.
Yep, let it on like 111, 112, yep.
So get it while you can. not when it's easy for you. It might be tough to get the line, but go ahead and get it while you can.
Right. And y'all gotta understand, man, these games, it's not like every night NBA or every night baseball and hockey to where you bet it the day of. You can obviously bet these the day of, but these are lines that have been out for a few days. So people have already been betting them up. So you're probably not getting the best of the number anyway. So you're already getting the worst side of the number, right? So it may have came out minus 15 for South Carolina. Who knows? But now it's 17.5. So you're already getting the worst number. So get it now before it gets even worse. You know what I mean? Because you guys got to understand these games have been out for days. They've been bettable for days. So people have already been putting their bets in. Sportsbooks already been getting their money. They already been bumping up lines. Like, okay, everybody going towards the over. Okay, boom, we bumped that up about 2 points. Things like that. So you don't want to get caught like we did last week, kind of getting it in too late.
It hurts. It hurts.
Hurt bad.
Especially when you got a parlay when all of them got hit. It hurts a little bit. All right, so next we got Xavier at Texas. In this matchup, Texas is favored by 4 points. Juice, your thoughts?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm cool with Texas minus 4.5, but on the safe side, we'll take the minus 190. I think they win this game outright.
Money line on Texas. All right. Then next up, we got Miami at Houston. We differ a little bit, but we still kind of feel the same way how the game will end. Juice is going to take the plus 7 points for Miami in this situation. I'll take the money line for Houston, which is right now at 320. So next up, we got Michigan State and Kansas State. Kind of flip those around. Michigan State and Kansas State. We got the Jerome Tang-led Wildcats of Kansas State facing off against Michigan State in a game that you think Vegas just got wrong.
Yeah.
We're going to take Kansas State for this plus. Are we going to take plus money or are we going to take the money line? Plus money?
No, money line. So
money line.
Yeah, money line. So plus 105.
Got you. It's taking plus 105 for the money line and a Kansas State straight win, where Juice really feels like Kansas State is going to win big. And these teams are really at a big disadvantage against Kansas State.
And if not big, I think they're gonna win though. I think even in a close game, I think Kansas State is. I think they're just a better team in this.
Yeah, this is the 3 versus 7. It's really odd the fact that Kansas State is a 3 and they're favored to lose this game, and Michigan State is a 7. They're favored to win this game by 1.5. A little tricky in there. So that's our parlay for this week. Bet on Black. We'll post up on our socials. Don't forget to follow us. Kelly Flicks. You got Juice Wheels. But let's get into some NBA talk. We got a couple of games this week. 4 games remaining. We're going to bet on 2 of these games. Yep. And one of them is the Thunder. So let's get it on, man. Shy been doing this thing. Okay, let's get it out. Lou Dort played great defense. Okay, let's get it out. Okay. Now, what about the game, bro? Who do they play?
We're not doing that. We're not skipping over my niggas. We had to watch the damn Lakers versus Magic highlights, okay? So we're not finna skip over my shit. So let's get into it, though. Let's get to the numbers, man. We running it back with the Clippers in L.A. We whipped that ass on Monday. No, I'm sorry, on Tuesday. And we're going to play them again on Thursday. We in L.A. for a week.
Is Lou Dort returning?
Lou Dort's playing. Come on now. Come on, man. Let's lock some season. You know what I'm saying? Now, on a serious note, before we get into it, prayers up for Paul George.
Oh, yeah.
Came down a little awkward, grabbing a rebound over Lou Dort, ironically. Looked like he kind of hyperextended his knee. They're calling it a knee sprain. They're saying he's going to be reevaluating in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
And if you've seen that play, it's probably a good thing that it was just a knee sprain because it looked way worse.
Yeah, that knee went backwards.
All the way back. Yeah.
Very
so prayers up to him. Get healthy, man. Do your thing. Like I said, I've said this. I said this months ago. I want to see every team healthy. That means the Lakers. That means the Clippers. That means the Suns. All these teams healthy. I don't want nobody talking about, oh, if my nigga was here, it would be different. I want the playoffs to be lit. I want everybody to be healthy, and I want to see everybody duke it out, man. Because the West is so damn jam packed. I want to see this shit. So, prayers up to Paul George. Getting back into this game, I believe Clippers are 3-point favorites right now, as it's sitting. Point total is 232.5. I mean, I got OKC to cover the 3. I got them to win again outright. I think we beat them again. No Paul George. I kind of like our chances. Shea's been playing out of his mind. Another bet you can look at is the under. The under has been cashing in these OKC Clippers games. The 3 times they played this year, the under's like really cash. Like last game was 101-100. So that's 2 point total 201, and they got this one at 232.5. So I think this is way out of proportion. We, Clippers and OKC have had high scoring games. Obviously, we know the infamous 175-176 game, but lately the offense hasn't been there for the Clippers, and our defensive rating has been through the roof the last 10 games. Last 10 games we're 8-2. Defensive rating I believe is like 105 or something, 105.3, like one of the best in the league. So I got us, man. Come on now, OKC
Ballin'.
+3.
Yeah, no, OKC been balling, man. I take OKC too, man. Look, I'm always trying to fade the Clippers whenever I can, so this is a great time. Fade them boys. Give me OKC. I like what Shai's been doing. The Clippers kind of have been flailing, if you talk about flying birds. They've been flailing in the same spot for a better part of a month right now, and I think this whole, not even Russell Westbrook situation involving their roster, where I don't think they understand what they are, and this is a problem. It's a bad time to have identity issues. Terrible time.
Agreed.
We're about 10 games out from the playoffs. The Clippers right now are really, I think, going to be a play-in team, and without Paul George, I'm not sure they're playing in anywhere.
Yeah, facts. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Tough. It's tough.
Going to the playoff and like literally, like you said it perfectly, identity problems, because Ty Lue's still trying to figure out the finishing lineups. I mean, this nigga still got Batum in, and like I know the joke is a joke, but now I think they found something with Eric Gordon now in they finishing lineup, but now
he's streaky.
But now Paul George is hurt, so now this adds another layer to it. So as we saw last night, where Kawhi couldn't even get a shot out versus Lou Dort, who do they finish with? And now with 10 games left in the season, man, look, I was the one. I was defending these niggas.
Oh, let's cut to it. Go ahead,
man.
Go ahead.
I was defending these niggas.
Okay.
And obviously, it's unfortunate Paul George got hurt, but I was defending these niggas. But it's looking like it don't matter what they say on paper. They can't put it together. if you can't figure it out and you trying to find yourself with 10 games left in the season, I can't help you with that. Like, so hey, look, if they get outed in the play-in or first round or whatever, I will be, hey, you watch it here on Bet on Black. Your boy Juice, man. I'll be like, hey, I was wrong. I apologize. So y'all just get ready for that. I'm already preparing my apologies. So
good, man. I've been talking to Malk. I've been like, Malk, bro, cause we talking about the Clippers last night on Discord. We were playing Battlefield. We were talking about how they lost.
Yeah.
And y'all putting this thing in the podcast. They're like, oh, they lost. I seen the play. I saw Paul George. Not Paul George. I saw Paul George get hurt. Yeah. I also saw Kawhi Leonard run from sideline to sideline, trying to get past Lou Dort. And this came to me that, like, this team is not ready for the playoffs at all. Like, they are not ready for, like, clutch time moments. Like, I'm scared for them. So, it's just tough. It's a tough position to be in. Yeah. So, let's go on to our next game of two. We got the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay, man.
Everybody healthy and playing.
This is interesting for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. I think they haven't seen a star like this since Kyrie Irving, where you talk about a good guard, a strong guard that's really tantalizing. And we don't talk about the Cavaliers at all for the playoffs. So, first, how are the Cavaliers in terms of the playoffs? Are they
I believe they are the 4th or the 5th seed. I got to double check.
Okay, we back to like 20. No, they're back to 08 with this.
No. They're top of the class. So in terms of the East, they're top of the class. You got they're like the tier 2, right? So you have Boston and you have Milwaukee. That's tier 1. Philly is in 3rd. They're literally tier 1/2. They're literally borderline both.
Right? Yeah, I'm ready for them to pop.
Yeah. So with them, they got to make it past the second round, or I don't want to hear it. And it's gonna be tough because they got to take out one of the Giants. They got to take out either the Bucks or the Bucks or the Celtics. So they got to take out one of the Giants, but they're at a point now where they got to get past it because Embiid is always gonna hear this if he can never get past the second round. Doc Rivers is always gonna hear this if he can't get past the second round. Because niggas forget he was coaching that Clippers team that couldn't get past the second round. Yeah. So we'll see. But in terms of this game, back to Cleveland, sitting in the 4th seed. They on the road at Brooklyn. They are 4-point favorites. Last time I checked when lines came out, Cleveland's 4-point favorites. Over under is kind of low for me. 218.5. They just played on Tuesday and it was I think it was like 115, 109. So I'm leaning Cleveland, but I'm definitely leaning over 218.5. So I'll switch it up a little bit. I'll use that as my pick over 218.5 for this one.
Okay, keep it safe. I mean, there's something in there too. Like towards the end of the season, the basketball season, it gets a little unpredictable for certain. Because the Eastern Conference definitely is in a different position than the Western Conference. Yeah. Western Conference between seed 6 and seed 11 all has the same record. Okay,
and honestly, between seed like 4 and 12, it's like 3 games.
I'm about to say it's real close. This 10
like
games means a lot.
Games.
Yeah. So then you look at the Cavaliers and what they got on the East Coast. Whereas they're cruising, like saying the second tier of the Eastern Conference right now. I'm be real, Cleveland as a franchise probably loves that right now. This is probably one of the most winningest seasons they've had in the past 10 to 15 years since LeBron, Kyrie Irving, those type of things. So I mean, it's almost a little close to me because do they just take this one off? Because they can, there's 10 games left. These are games you could take off. Do you see Cleveland still having that motivation to get in this dub and covering?
Definitely, because I think they want to go into the playoffs in the right mode because they have something to prove. Last year was cool from an experience standpoint of Darius Garland, Evan Mobley getting that playoff experience. So that was cool that they made that run. Now they got D Mitchell. They feel like they can really compete. And whether or not teams believe that or not, they played Boston well. They beat Boston a few times during the regular season. You know what I'm saying? They played the Bucks well. They lost, I believe, but they played the Bucks well. They played Philly well. So they're looking at these top 2 teams in the East like we can beat them. And we can definitely hang with them. And we probably could beat them. So that I think they're definitely motivated. I think they're looking to make a name for themselves. We are here in the East. We're one of the big dogs too, and I think they're good enough. To be honest with you.
Okay, so that's what we got for NBA wise. Talking about taking OKC to beat the Clippers,
of course,
and we're taking the Cavaliers to cover. Well, actually,
no,
I'm taking the over. We're taking the over
218
in the OKC and Clipper game, and we're taking Cavaliers to win, and they're favored to win this game by 4 points.
Well, no, OKC, and then the inverse. The inverse.
Oh, it's a flip.
Yeah,
you
flip
give it
flip.
to us. Give it to us.
Yeah. So OKC +3. I'm taking the money line, but y'all can take the +3. Be safe with the +3. That's okay. I'm going money line as part of the parlay. And then the Cleveland Brooklyn game, I'm leaning towards the over 218.5.
Got you.
And if you want to play a side, I would take Cleveland -4. If you want to play a side.
Okay, I got you.
You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to throw options for people out there.
I got you.
You know, my pick over. My pick is the over.
But your favorite would be
yeah.
Cleveland. I got you. I got you. Okay. Yeah. So we got our NBA plays. Going back to the college basketball plays, we'll run through them. So we got women's basketball. Women's basketball is back on the slate, everybody. First up, we got Notre Dame and Coach Ivy at Maryland. We're going to take Maryland to win this game. Or actually, not to win, to cover the 4 points. You cover these 4 points versus Notre Dame, a hobbled squad that's missing a guard. We're going to take that. Next up, we got the call that South Carolina will cover this game, the 17.5-point spread against UCLA. So we'll take South Carolina to cover that. Moving on to the men's basketball. We got Texas and Xavier playing against each other. We're taking Texas to win this game. Next, we got Kansas State and Michigan State. We're going to take Kansas State to win this game. And then we got Miami at Houston, which we are split on. Juice has Miami covering the 7 points against Houston. I have Houston for the money line. Going into the NBA bets, we got the Clippers and OKC. Taking Clippers to lose. So we're actually taking the OKC to win this game by 3 points. So I had to mention that for my Clipper fans. And then also we got a pretty decent game with the Cavaliers and the Nets. Juice has informed us to take the over, but his favorite is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that's our bets for this week. Talking about our parlay will be those 5 teams up ahead. Last we checked, well, actually we got to add a couple teams to it, but last we checked it was $10 for $90. So just keep on doing math and figure out how much you'll make. Decent odds.
Hopefully y'all was taking notes while y'all was listening.
We'll turn your $10 into some gas money this week, bro, if you mess with us. So that's all we got for Bet on Black this week. Juice, any closing remarks?
Yeah, man. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all listening. You know what I'm saying? If y'all, whether y'all follow or fade us, you feel me? It's all love. And we just, want to see y'all have fun with this shit, man. You know what I mean? Manage your bankroll right. Don't be spending on your bread. Don't be going broke. Don't be fucking putting a mortgage on shit. Okay? Handle your business. Be a grown up. And let's have a little fun, man. Then don't be afraid to take risks. It's March Madness coming towards, the end of it, Sweet 16. It's an exciting time for basketball. Baseball's right around the corner. We may or may not tap in with that too much, depending on, it's Bet on Black. It's a little different. But still, man, all these sports coming to an end and new sports different sports starting up. Have fun with this shit. Have fun with this betting shit, because that's what it's about at the end of the day. You want to make money, but let's also have fun with it. It shouldn't get to a point where you can't pay your rent. You can't do the things you want to do in life because of this shit. So bet responsibly. Yeah, man. That's it though. Good.
All right, let's get into it, man. A couple drops for y'all, and we're gonna get up out of here.
Yeah.
Look, wait a minute. Tell them I got. At least I got good flicks if they shake us down.